of CSR DIgest. CSR DIgest, like we said, is a corporate social responsibility program instituted by Total Exploration and Production Nigeria Limited to look into their CSR policy to host neighboring and impacted communities. Today I'm here with the President General, Egi People's Assembly, Apostle Magnus Elemele, who is the head of the Egi people. And he's here to x-ray some of these issues, to explain them, and then give us more technical details on the distribution of the tricycle as part of the economic empowerment by Total Exploration and Production Nigeria Limited to Egi people. Apostle Magnus Elemele, you are welcome once again to CSR DIgest.
Thank you.
Yes, like we said, CSR DIgest is a program put together by Total EMP to ensure that they monitor their CSR policies and programs to their host and neighboring communities. And recently, it was said, or it was discovered, that Total EMP bought some tricycles to your community and distributed same to some beneficiaries. How do you look at that program by Total EMP?
As part of Total CSR in their host communities,
Yes.
We saw it coming to our community and we embraced it. One of the managers called me and asked me that this is what they want to do. I said it will be a plus to Egi people if they can distribute tricycles and vehicles, buses. We went into it, and as the President General of the People's Assembly, I thought it very useful. The institutions in our areas should benefit from it. This CSRO is not only that it's the CSRO as per se, but these people that are beneficiaries are also going to pay back the money they used in purchasing the tricycle.
Okay, so what you mean is that it's a revolving loan?
It's a revolving loan.
Okay.
So that when you are able to actualize the dream of Total, then we will also use that money to purchase for other people. By that time we have empowered you, or we can also purchase and you can also be the beneficiary. And everything depends on
Your performance.
your performance.
Okay, so like how many tricycles and how many buses were distributed that day?
The total number of tricycles that were distributed was 40, and the buses were 16 distributed to Egi people.
Okay, with what you've seen, you discover that will stimulate the local economy in Egi.
Yes.
And then, if that stimulates the local economy in Egi, those beneficiaries, do they express the hope, or have they expressed satisfaction with what has been given them, and how do you think they can meet that criteria?
Yeah, the people that benefited, even that day when they were interviewed, expressed happiness that Total was able to come up in that with that bootstep to assisting them. And from that time till this day, some of them have started paying back. They have started paying back, showing that they are eager and wants to benefit more from that business.
Where do they operate?
We allowed them, we and Total will allow them to pick up their areas of operation.
Okay.
Because if you tell them to operate in a particular place, somebody will come and tell you, the area you gave to me to operate, I don't make money out of that place. So we allow them to operate in every area that they deem necessary that can operate and make their money.
Is there any operation going on in Egi with this scheme?
Yes, there are some people who are using their bicycle, their tricycles in Egi. There are some that are using it in Omok. A lot of them are in Port Harcourt.
Now, like how much do you think each of them will cost the beneficiary? to return? And what's the lifespan, or what's the tenure of the
well, everything depends on the cooperative, because this issue, this tricycles and buses, we are bought from through the cooperatives. Because the Ege people were made to register cooperatives, and it is 2 cooperatives that are operating on this. So these people are returning back the money to the cooperative through the cooperative. And from all indications, just like I said, they have started returning the money. So when they pay to the cooperative, Total is also aware. Total is monitoring the payment, because Total is not the owner of the cooperative. But cooperatives are owned by Ege.
Now, if you look at the policy of Total concerning CSR, now this is economic empowerment. Apart from this, is there any other area Total has touched the life of Ege people economically?
Yeah, it is not only Total, it is also the pressure of Ege people. The Ege people give pressure to give Total an eye-opener for some certain things they are doing today. When I was chairman of the Federation, we introduced what we call skill acquisition. And these skill acquisition are also to empower the Ege people, and Total is still doing it up to this day. But through their CSR, Total has also embarked on fishery and poultry. They have also given to Ege people fingerlings, those who already have fish ponds, those who are able to accommodate fishes through drums and whatever. They've been able to give them fingerlings, give them feeds. I was surprised when I asked Total, they said they have given not less than 500 persons fingerlings and poultry. So they're encouraging people so that people will not lack food, so that people will be able to see how they can diversify from not depending on Total alone, but they can sustain themselves through that CSR. So Total is doing very, very good.
Okay, now with what you have seen so far, have you been able to assess the journey so far between the time you were sworn in as President General and now? What is the story so far? Any progress made?
It has always been very difficult, because if I say there is progress made, somebody will ask me, where is the progress? But it's only me that will know the ins and outs, what has been happening in Ege communities. Ege community is not an easy place. And from the time I came in, there was Total was the Ege People Assembly petitioned Total to the governor of Rivers State. They petitioned the governor about Total. So when I came in and I saw that it was not necessary going to discuss our issues with the government, what I did was to ensure that that matter was withdrawn from court, from the government. It was a bold step. And what happened, one of the issues that made the Ege People's Assembly, the people that handed over to us to go to the governor, was because Total could not fulfill or release the agreement that was signed in the gas eruption. Total was not able to explain to Ege people the contracts that were done between 2012 and 2016. Total was not able to explain to Ege People's Assembly all the issues about skills and scholarship. So these were the issues that made them petition the government. And when I came in, I now went and told Total, can't you release these things and let us come out of government? Total accepted. And as soon as they did that, as soon as we came out of government, they released all these items to us. It was a step forward. And then we came in, and what we benefited, when we came into power, what was handed over to us, what we saw was a brick factory, the building of a brick factory. And I said, well, to myself and to my ESCO, will we cancel what we have inherited? And they said, no. So, okay, let us go ahead. And we didn't know that it was a total deceit by one Mr. Philip, who was the then manager of
enterprise development
of Delta. So we discussed the issue of brick factory for over 2 years. So, and we now met the MD of Total and asked him, how can we begin to discuss issues of one brick factory for $25 million? And whereas what Egepopo has in the agreement was $30 million. How can we now use that $25 million to do just project? And Total realized themselves, even the MD assured us that all we need to do was to do more projects, just like we requested. And because of that, the Total MD now put off a technical committee and also asked us to bring up a different committee that will go and discuss what projects that can be used to develop again. And these two committees came up with some certain projects. Executing the project now became a problem. So how do we go about it? Before we knew what was happening, somebody has already taken a Total to court on that agreement. When you go to Total will say that's the matter in the court. When you go to Total, they will tell you that's matter in the court. So we didn't have to go about it. All we now needed to do was to enforce the settlement of that matter.
And what were the projects nominated?
The project that were nominated, one is Agric University. We also nominated ceramic industry. We nominated cassava processing industry. We nominated mini refinery. Okay. We also nominated toothpick industry and all that. So these are just to mention about few. We nominated about 7 projects that are done. And out of this, Total, we have also gone for inspection for the ceramic industry. We have also gone for inspection for cassava processing industry. We have also gone for inspection for the toothpick processing industry. And aside that, there is a 10% in that special agreement that People needed to use for a special project. And that one, we have also concluded with Total that we need to build our own secretariat in Port Harcourt. Okay.
What the 10% of what?
10%
of the $30 million.
Yes. Okay. Will be used by the institutions.
EPA, okay.
By the institutions.
Okay, to build a central secretariat.
So the institutions have agreed to build a central secretariat and including it with a 30 rooms guest house and also an event center. And we've already secured the land, and Total is also ready to pay. And I'm very sure that certain that by next year that project will kick off. And other projects too will kick off by next year.
Now, with what you have just explained so far, the EGI beneficiaries, the people who benefited from all these CSR policies, economic empowerment, have you put up any mechanism, any feedback mechanism to checkmate what they have benefited and how they are responding? Apart from this tricycle thing, any other thing that benefited?
Yeah, since it's a CSR,
okay.
It is left at the hands of Total to monitor. Okay. But for the tricycles and buses, we are monitoring it directly.
Okay,
but
through the cooperatives?
Yes, through the cooperatives.
Okay.
The cooperatives are monitoring it directly because they're paying the money into cooperative. Because you see, like I explained before, when they gave these fingerlings and the chicks, they gave it outrightly to them. And you know, when I interviewed one man that they gave fingerlings, he said that I just asked him a question. After the production of this fish, what do you intend to do with it? He said he had a lot of problems, but he was going to use it for family problems. I said, but you will have reinvested this
Which means what they have given him is just a one-off.
A one-off.
No.
A one-off thing. And so he doesn't know how to. That is why. Yeah, that is why we re-emphasize that cooperative will be involved.
Okay.
So that let the Egeman monitor the Egeman and see how productive the Egeman. And today I'm telling you that we are realizing it.
Okay.
People are paying.
Okay, which means if you adopt or if you sustain that cooperative style,
yes,
you tend to realize more benefit than when it was just
this is a trial time.
Okay.
But Total will be able to distinguish when they give outrightly and expect the man to reinvest, and when they give to the cooperative to see how the people can also reinvest.
Okay.
So it's a trial time.
Okay.
So we'll see where the benefit. Total will do one side. If the one that are given through the cooperative will be better, or the one they give directly.
No, but you as the President General, you are optimistic that of cooperative pays more.
Yes.
That is
what I'm saying.
Okay, fine. So business-wise, ordinarily, from what you have just explained now, an average man need to be pushed and taught how to do business before he will realize it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Because
so what effort are you making within the rank and files of EPA to institute a business committee that will be able to draw up business plans for all these beneficiaries? Do you have any intention?
Yeah, what we need to do is just like we said it here earlier.
Yeah.
That cooperatives are working hard to ensure that people benefit and continue to benefit from the level of the strength that they put on in whatever thing that they. We will always try to support that, and we'll make it back it up with a committee that will begin to look into these cooperatives too, because everything will end up monitoring. Because if we monitor, if the cooperatives are also monitored, then they will do more and do better.
Okay. Now you have less than 2 years to stay in the office. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. With what you have done so far, are you optimistic that at the end of your tenure, you'll be able to satisfy the need and aspirations of many people? Though not 100%. Because no one leader can satisfy everybody.
Yes.
So how can you assess yourself?
It is not the number of years that matters, but the number of time that something tangible has happened that has missed. When I was chairman of the Federation, it was a 2-year term. And I have also promised people that the 3 years plus we have stayed in the office could be seen at times as a waste. But the remaining 1 year and 7 months would be useful to give people, even to the ESCO, to the entire world, than the 3 years that was spent.
Why do you score the 3 years 0?
I don't score it 0. I try to tell you there are things.
No, you just said waste.
No, people will look at it as waste, okay, because something must stand from somewhere. People will look at it as waste. I have this part. Even right now that we are talking, if people overhear or hear what we are doing right now, they will say, "What is this man? What is this man doing? He's wasting his time. He's telling us what cannot be realizable."
Okay.
But I want to assure the people that we are going to make an achievement that people will now begin to say that we didn't know. They should look back. It is God that does everything. Because anything that you are doing without God, it can never work. I have told you here that Total will purchase land for us here in Port Harcourt.
With our money?
With our money.
Okay.
We are going to use it, purchase land for us. We are going to achieve ceramic industry, we're going to achieve cassava processing industry, we're going to achieve toothpick industry, we're also going to achieve a beverage industry in Nigeria. These projects, as soon as they are sited in Nigeria, it will leverage the Nigeria.
For peace.
For peace. Because the insecurity that we'll be having with whatever the companies will be producing will secure Nigeria. Will secure, and again will become a business model.
All right, with that we conclude this episode of CSR Digest. CSR Digest will come your way again next week, God willing. But before then, I have to thank my guest, Apostle Magnus Elemele, who has been here giving us some technical details on how far Egi people has gone business-wise and basing all his facts on the recently distributed tricycles and buses to Egi beneficiaries through our cooperative. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Apostle Magnus Elemele, for coming into the program, and we hope to see you again next week, God willing. Thank you. My name is Ndo Ajie.